Hello, good morning. Welcome to my stream today. I'm just going to be working on a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm hopefully going to get Marble Race in some sort of a state where I feel like I'm okay posting it on my site. Hey, Destructor, welcome back. Alright, so to start off, I don't know, I've been working on this ray tracer. I stayed up late last night working on a ray tracer. I'm stupid. So I'm going to finish that at some point today. But other than that, I've basically finished the blue noise generator. It now supports 3D, 4D. I just figured out though the text format isn't very good. Like instead of, I'm outputting it to a text box right now, but instead what I should do is I should offer it to save it as a file, and then people can click like save as. And then the other thing is, wait, I have a thing for this, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. So, man, I forgot I made this as a background. So then I'm going to do a blue noise sample generator, which is good for like ray tracing samples and just randomly sampling points. So that's kind of related, but it's basically going to follow the exact same template of a JavaScript app. So I can just copy a lot of the code. And then for that, generating blue noise sample points, I'm going to use Mitchell's best candidate because it gives you the one-dimensional list. Is my hand showing up here? Yeah, it is. I mean, I have a better version of this background detection. I just haven't copied it over to my computer. I'm an idiot. But whatever. But yeah, and then I'm gonna start working on compiling my C engine, which I haven't done yet on this computer. I haven't worked on my engine for like a month. So that's kind of like I got to get back into that. Got to finish up the physics part of the engine. I got to do a lot of work on my engine. Yeah. I've been putting it off, but that's why we need to finish Marble Race. We're going to finish the blue noise generator first because that could be useful for Marble Race. Although now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't support arrays, so it's actually not useful. You using Trello at all? No, I don't use Trello. I have the app on my phone and I just never use it. I just do stuff off memory. And yeah. So we're going to jump straight. You know what? I'm going to do Marble Race first because now that I say that, like I've been meaning to get Marble Race out there for a while. There's a few things I just want to fix up. So we're going to do that. And just make sure everything's good here. Yeah. All right. So these are Takeaway Canyon. These are the courses that I still need to do. Okay, so here's the things that I need to fix up. I think the ray tracer could be better. Like I think I could use a better noise sampling pattern for the ray tracer to make it smoother. Besides the blue noise, I tried adding blue noise and the blue noise actually made it slower because of the texture sampling from the noise. But that doesn't mean I can't make the white noise better. And then, I'm not looking at a code file here. What am I doing? So besides fixing up the ray tracing, Scaffold Fractal here is a terrible course. So I either need to redo this course or remove it. I love it as a course. I think it looks, or I don't love it as a course. I love it as like structure. It looks super cool. But what I may have to do is just make it way more dense and then put some like holes going straight through it so that there's guaranteed path to the end. So I think I'll do that first because that's probably the easiest, and then making one of these courses. I think probably Sifter is easiest, and then I want to switch around the order of these courses so that what I think is the best course is the first course that you play. But yeah, honestly, I'm not that happy with the result of this. The main thing I figured out is that we are not ready for ray tracing, distance fields, or anything. It's just super slow. This was like basically a test for my engine as well to see how close we were to real-time ray tracing. I know that there's still better ways to do this, but like the raw performance aspect of it is that rays take up so much more processing power in that you are choosing between getting this realistic lighting that isn't perfect, it's noisy, and having a huge performance cost, or just using way more triangles and doing shadow maps and all the normal stuff that looks pretty realistic. It's non-noisy, and like I think the noise and all the path tracing doesn't make up for or it offsets all the benefits. It's a really difficult decision to make, but I still think path tracing isn't going to be real time or ray traced games outside of like very specific things like this, like a marble game where the whole game is actually designed to be ray traced. It's not going to be something you just pop into engines. But anyways, it was still a good experiment. Alright, so for the scaffold fractal, our code for the scaffold fractal is right. Wait, actually, you know what? Is this our ray tracing function? Maybe fix this up. I think possibly increasing these numbers will make it better or higher quality. It's really hard to tell. The lighting does look pretty good though here. So I basically want this random number generator to be, oh man, the shadow mapping here also makes stuff way slower. Like there's so many things that I'm not a huge fan of here. Let me just try increasing the number sizes massively. Keep some small though so that it works on different scales. Basically the noise function I use should massively affect the noisiness of these dark areas right here. I should probably use the same seed in the same spot to check. So I'm going to save this seed. I wonder, is there pi here? I think not, actually. I don't think there is. Okay. So I'm going to try doing one big and semi-big. Alright, nice. That looks pretty much the same, but you know what? I have a path tracer I've been working on. I have a non-random wrong shader. Wrong shader. Testing ray tracing noise functions. I have a non-random function for generating ray positions. Path frames 256. You have square is square root of path frames. All right. 0.14 random values. Instead of iframe, it's camera 0.w times 60. And then mod mod path frames. All right. See if this works. Nope, there's an error in the code. Let's see what it is. Oh, just a semicolon. Oh, right there. All right, that does not work the same way it does in the shader. Actually, it's hard to tell. It gives an interesting pattern though. The other issue is that this random.w and z aren't different. I'll just do these with the normal hash. And then I'll replace that with the uniform sampling. No, it does not converge. Zero.w times 60 path frames. Maybe if I set path frames to 100 instead. It's working in certain spots. So this is kind of like a blue noise did their pattern. Looking at it. I wonder if it's going to be actually better than noise though. Sounds like something's using tons of my laptop's GPU. Wait, what's that? Oh, I'm still running the renderer. I gotta remember to close the renderer afterwards. Alright, that has deformations, but it does seem decently smooth down below. Maybe using RP instead of RD here. So now it has wave patterns, but it actually looks pretty good down here. The lines actually make for a decent sampling pattern. So if I can get something like these lines, if I can make them more hidden, that'll be what I'm looking for. So the lines are caused by this seed position right here. If I just make the seed position fully random, it's actually just the equivalent of white noise, I believe. Yeah. So I actually got to test this with the same seed, the same position. I need to do an actual test. So to do that, we're going to go and use this seed, and we're going to go and look at a dark corner where there's not going to be a lot of light. Right here. Oops. So wait, right here, or should we find a better spot? I guess that's good. So moving the camera makes it retrace. I just want to make sure I get a good angle where you can see what's happening. All right, print screen that. Now we replace that with our white noise function. We do the exact same seed. Oh wait, did I do the wrong seed? I think I did the wrong seed. Alright, well, we'll take a picture of this now. It's hard to tell, the white noise might be better. That's the white noise. This is the uniform sampling. All right, so now what we do is we snap a dark area like this, and then we paste it beside the same dark area here, and we try and compare the noise. And honestly, it looks exactly the same, to me at least. So we're just going to use the white noise. Let me just check something. Oh, I already have closure on this, eh? Okay. I need to make sure that the background shadows aren't happening when they shouldn't be. Nope, they aren't. Alright. Alright, so now I'm going to fix up the scaffold fractal. Or at least make it a better course. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to make it a lot more blocky and close together, but then I'm going to put holes straight through it. So basically I'm going to make the fractal shape look a lot better, but then that'll make it so close together that the marbles won't be able to go anywhere through. You kind of see here. It also creates really nice patterns for ray tracing. But then because there's nowhere to go through here, then I need to create holes through. So to do that, I'm also going to try changing the offset here. Experimenting with a few things. That's pretty cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do to make the marbles fall through is I'm going to subtract a grid of spheres. So to do that, you just do max length repeating RP, which is mod absolute value, whatever space we want it to repeat on, which will be 10 here, minus 5, minus the size of the radius of the spheres, which I'm going to do is 4. And then to combine it or subtract it, I believe we need to do negative. So wrap it in parentheses and do negative. Yep, you can see now there are spheres subtracted. Oh, but because space is warped, that's actually really cool. It warps space, so it's creating I don't know if you can see, but it has like arched things. That's not what I'm looking for, though. I'm looking for P, not RP. Here we go. So now there are spheres subtracted. The issue with this is they just go straight down. So what we want to do is we want them to go diagonal, or perpendicular to the gravity. So to do that, we need to apply a slight rotation. Like that. That might not be diagonal enough. I'm also going to increase the view distance. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, what did I do? Holy shit. Alright, that is freaking cool. Ray tracing. You know, I've been thinking I might, once I have my engine all sorted out, I might try and make I think it looks pretty cool. Thanks. Once I have my engine sorted out, I might try and make a hybrid ray tracer and rasterizer game engine. So like the marbles are like all the map will be ray traced, but like the game objects and possibly characters will be rasterized with triangles, so you can just do normal skeletal animations. Like this same engine structure would probably work if I could get I would just need to figure out how to light the separate objects. Unless you somehow made a ray traced character. Anyways, I gotta stop thinking about stuff like that. So the reason I'm just rotating the whole position right here, but I think what I should do, rotate temp position like this equals p temp.yz, and then use temp there. So now it doesn't flip the plane, but it still subtracts the spheres. Awesome. So now I'm going to carry that over to the collisions. I just need to add this little rotation and repeating spheres to the collision part of the code over here. I'm wondering how much GPU usage is it using? 100. What is using 50% of my CPU? Oh, it's this fucking app. Wait, Firefox is still using desktop window manager is using 28%. Man, I swear the Windows update did something, or like, that's so weird. So the desktop window manager GPU usage goes down when I turn off my ray tracer in Firefox. Whoa. Whoa, that's interesting. Whoa. Anyways, so to do this rotation here, you need to store temporary y. You need to store them in a variable, so y, z, rotate 2D. How much did I rotate it by? 1. And then the repeating spheres, repeating x is math.abs x mod 10 minus 5. Yep. And then minus 4 abs y 10 minus 5. And this actually comes from t data 0 because of our rotation. Alright, and then math.max negative length manual length because it's JavaScript subtracted by the radius, which is 4. There's an error. T data is not defined. What did I do elsewhere? TVAC. Alright, so now the collisions should be updated with the spheres. Huh. It doesn't seem to be matching up. There seems to be some holes and stuff that you can just fly through. What's going on? Why can I just fly through stuff? What's it? What did I do differently? YZ, rotate, value mod 10 minus 5 minus 4, negative. YZ, rotate 1. Max, negative. I think I'm doing everything the same. Oh, I changed these multipliers. It wasn't even the repetition. Alright, I feel like this is going to make a good course now. So let's decide which course we're going to do next. I think it's going to be Crumbling Asteroid. Yeah, Sifter is stuck. I just think I figured out how to simulate red, green, blue refraction in my engine though. So that's cool. Alright, let's increase this to 5. See if that makes them fall through. Nope, they still get stuck. Man, this level sucks. This is the really difficult thing about marble courses, is they don't... It's really difficult to make an actual good looking one. Let me try something. Let me try changing this rotation amount. These are really cool. But it's hard for me to tell what angle it's subtracting from. Let me try raising it a little bit now. Y plus equals. Oh wait, was I changing it here? Oh, oops. Supposed to be changing it here. Alright, let's try this. This looks promising. Everything's aligned. I feel like the spheres might be subtracting too much though. I don't know, we'll see. Nope, still got stuck. Do I have color balancing off, or why is it not brightening up? I have color balancing on, huh? Ray tracers are freaking complicated. Nope, still a crappy course. Alright, I'm going to try increasing the rotations. Or the angle that the spheres are going through. One sec, I'll be right back. Okay, let's test this one. So make sure everything's set up correct. Maybe I need noisy gravity. Noisy gravity. What if right here I did... No. I guess I could do... See how that works. Basically add a little bit of shifting around to stop things from getting stuck. Or getting them stuck even more. See, now this is bad because it's just falling straight through. Yeah, so the holes are going straight down. So that's actually not good. I had it right before. So yeah, I think like 0.8 is a good angle. And also shifting this to 4 instead of 5. Alright, so let's see how this random noise works. Oh, so that actually pushed Sifter off. It's not enough to push Crumbling Asteroid off. I think the solution isn't even to have noise. It's to just make the course actually work. Maybe I need to use smooth min to make the top surface bumpy instead of flat. How would I do that? Yeah, you know what? I am not happy with this. Honestly, I don't think this turned out that great, but it still looks alright. Still going to post the updated version on my website. I'm going to move on to working on the blue noise sampling though. Because I kind of need to move on to other stuff. So let's open up the blue noise generator now. So the thing that we need to change, actually I might go get a drink before. I don't have any water here. I might go get some before I start this. But the thing I want to change is right now, first of all, I have all these formats together, but I'm actually going to change it to type, red, green, blue A, and then format of image, byte array, int array, float array, double array, and dimension, etc. Or change it into some other thing of this. Or I might just make it so the n dimensional has a different output format. Because actually right now I'm pretty happy with this generation right here. Does this work? Oh, okay, good, it is. Alright, so that it does link to the paper. Okay. So anyways, I need to add an option here. Does the n-dimensional work with 1D? No, it doesn't. Requires at least 2 dimensions. Alright, so I gotta add that. I have a thing that doesn't let it run if it'll fail. So I need to add a check here that's if type is 7, if image counts or image count equals max 2. So that way it'll have a minimum of 2 image count. Yeah, so now it always works. Ah, but it doesn't work. Oh, I think it's the density that's breaking this. I have a thing that's supposed to set the min density, but maybe I need to increase it. Oh yeah, there we go. So actually, let's see if this does work with 1 dimension. Oh, okay. It does work with 1 dimension. It just doesn't work. The size is too small. Wait, does it even work with 1? Okay, so 2 is the smallest. Alright, so that's actually really cool. So we'll set... Is there anything else I need to limit? Image count. I need to clamp the image count between or make it maximum 1. It can't be negative. All right, and that's good. What are the default options? Okay, yeah, so before I go and change this around, I'm going to go and get some orange juice or something to drink. My cat Yoshi followed me. Let's see if I can turn this. I normally have my room shut whenever I'm streaming. So if I ever have it open here, he comes running in and he's like, "You need to give me pats." So, giving him lots of pats. I can't program with one hand though. Yeah, so I've decided all I'm going to do for this next part is instead of displaying a text box for the n-dimensional, I'm going to do save as text or save as binary, and then it'll convert it to whatever you choose and you can save it as a file. So that way it's like a whole different option. It'll be good. Yeah. Just like my good cat here. Yeah. This cat does this thing where he like smashes his head against your hand like that. And if I stop patting him, he'll smash my leg. Such a good cat. Okay. I gotta get back to work. You know, screw fiddling with this. Knowing that I have a better version now. I'm gonna turn off the background part. Here we go. Oh my god. If I let him, he would just pat me for like... See how he rubs his head against my hand? Like, he'll pat himself with my hand. uh, Such a good cat. Do you guys like my Lord of the Rings poster? That's Gandalf. Okay. Let me make sure everything's good. Yep. Alright. So this part where it's... Oh, I just gotta let my cat out. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is amazing. I actually went through and watched the Hobbit films, and then it made me go, oh, I need to go and watch all the Lord of the Rings. And anytime I go to watch them, I'm like, oh, it's like 4 hours to watch one of the movies. So it's a lot of time. Okay. So out here, right here where it just outputs the raw data array text, do if type smaller than 7. I'm going to do a completely custom thing here. So else output button for saving text or binary file. So actually all of these access the output div, so I can just do that right here. I can remove this repeating code. all these parts. Oh, it also outputs this span in each of the parts. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to write this up here. Do date now minus start time divided by 1,000. And then output div append child tspan. All right, there we go. So now I don't need to write this each time. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is, first of all, we'll do the text button. So we're going to create an input element button, which is input with type button. And then the value is the button string, which is save as text. And then we'll append that child. Oh yeah, and we also need to do text button dot add event listener, click. Then when this is called, it'll prompt the save. I'm just going to do alert right now. Text. Then while I'm here, you know what? That's good to start. I think I might need to do a div or something, or a new line, but we'll see. Actually, you know what? For the n dimensional, it doesn't generate multiple ones. So, let's see, does this work? Generated 0. Yeah. So n dimensional count 1. Save as text. Text. Okay. All right, so I don't remember exactly how to save this text, but I did the exact same thing here. So we'll look at this save function, and we'll see what it does here. Save href equals data attachment text encode URL. Target equals blank. Download math functions.txt. Wait, so what exactly am I doing here? On click. Click here to save. Wait, JavaScript button href. Is there a way to do a reference from a button? Oh, window.location. HTML button that acts like a link. Plain HTML way is to put it in a form where you specify the desired target URL. No, this attribute does not exist. That's stupid. Simply use an A which you style to look like a button. If JavaScript is allowed, set window.location.href. Okay, I can do that. Oh god, what did I copy? I just gotta copy this. Copy. Wait, why is it copying the whole thing? Oh, there we go. Okay. So window.location.href equals data attachment text code URI. Okay, so I still have to output it as a text array for this. And I'm just going to output it as a double array for simplicity. Listener click text result. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know if that's supposed to prompt download differently. JavaScript window href prompt download. Using an HTML button. Form get. This doesn't work, just redirect. Okay, let's try this. Na. Oh god, why is the outputting as not a number as well? Is something broken? JavaScript window location href attachment download. Oh, create an element and prompt the click. Look, it equals blank. How do you set the download file name? Because right now it's outputting as not a number, not a number, not a number. Change file name when using front-end solution. Back-end solution. Okay, I need a front-end solution. This is all in browser. Maybe I need to create a maybe I need to do the equivalent of this, but create this element A, assign all these values, and call the click function manually. And then I don't need this anymore. And this is supposed to be text. All right, so hopefully this should actually prompt a download with math functions.txt. It doesn't. It doesn't prompt a download. That's what I thought. Maybe I need to add the element. All right, apparently I just need to do it as an ahref tag. Way to specify a suggested file name. Oh, this is weird. I guess I'll just style the A as a button. So instead of input, I'll do A, inner HTML equals save as text. See, I don't like this because then I need to encode each part. I might just do what I did here where when you go save, it says click here to save. I might just have to do a crappy solution like that. The issue is with this, you need to set the href attachment to the full data. So if it's just sitting there and you have a huge thing of data, it's basically going to be duplicating it twice for each button. Document create element. Chrome makes it very simple. This worked. Okay, that's the code I just had. Let's see if we can get this to work. Create element, download, click. Yeah, I have all that stuff set up and it's not working. I think I got my play pause buttons working. Nice. You can save any. Oh, Firefox requires the link to be in the document. SLE outdiv.remove child SLE. TextB.TextB. Oh. Oops, I removed that stuff. I gotta go back. Alright, so pen child, SLE, remove child. So make sure it's, hey, said who? I'm working on adding download links or a proper way of saving stuff for the n-dimensional blue noise, because if it's like a 3D volume, no, it's not working. T area is undefined. Oh, I just have the wrong value here. So like if it's a 3D volume, it's not like it's an image where you can just go and like output it as an image and like save the image. So the issue with the 3D or 4D volumes is like there's no common format, so I just need to save it as text. It worked! Oh, at least I think it worked. Let's test it. But then I'm going to also add an option for binary. You post something in the Discord. Is it just an image? Looking for jobs feels bad, man. Man, you shouldn't look for job experience on Discord. Or you shouldn't look for jobs on Discord. Alright, what should I name this as? Blue noise plus dot text something D. If I set the image count to 0 here, then I don't know how many dimensions it is. Where do I set the image count? Equals max, image count there. Do I never reset the image count? What? Oh, I guess I forgot to reset that. So I'm supposed to do image count equals 0. Text name or nom equals image count plus D, so that'll be like 3D if it's 3D. And I can do plus nom. Okay. Normies confuse me, man. It's a normie, dude. It's, oh wait, there's no dot. Oops. Save as, blue noise text. Oh yeah, so it is generating. Wait, what is it? Why is it outputting all those nans? If it's one-dimensional and it's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those are the 8 right there. It's dividing by the wrong size. What the heck? Hey, what is happening? Bigger than 6, working.js. Smaller than 7. T size equals size times size. Oh, right here. I'm supposed to do T size equals res.length. Oh, there we go. Awesome. So now it downloads as text. All right, so to do binary, how do I do data? JavaScript download blob binary. So saving binary data file. Blob. Create object URL. Type octet/stream. Data int 8 array. Awesome. Okay. So this should actually be pretty easy. So then that saves as text. So I want to copy this. This part should actually be here. All right, output buttons for saving as text or binary file. We've got the text part. Now we're going to create an option for the binary. Wait, does .bin stand for binary? Binary file is a computer file that is not a text file. Awesome! So I got that. I'm going to do a binary .bin file. So it's binary. I don't assign text B anywhere, do I? No. So here I actually might not need to do any conversion. I'll probably just want to normalize the ranks like the integer right here. Just output a uint32 array. So how do I do data? I also will need to put a little description of how the binary data is formatted. Even for this like byte array. All right, I'll do that after this. Let me get this working properly. So first of all, I need to convert from the raw result Wait, why am I doing bi++ here when I can just do I? What am I even doing? I guess I copied that from there. Anyways, this can be I. I'm going to put on some music. Yeah, so I think below this, if it's one of the text types, I'll add a little flag that says what it is. It's like right here. It's generated. Plus if type is bigger than 3, bigger than equal to 3, bigger than 2 then output x plus y times size equals index. Oh, that broke something. String letter O contains an unescaped line break. What? Where? Oh, probably down here. Yeah, right here. I'm guessing at least. Oh no, right here. y times size equals index. Actually, I don't need to, this will output it multiple times with each one. Like if I do count 2, it's stupid to do that each time, so I'm just going to add one notice right at the beginning. If image ID equals 0 and type bigger than 2, so it's a non-image type. Then it's going to output message x/binary data formatted as index equals x plus y times size. Now add that first to the output div. So now it'll give you little information about how the text data is stored. X/binary data formatted as index equals x plus y times size. If you output an image, it doesn't. Okay. Awesome. So now we need to do the binary data formatting for this, which I also think will end up with a better way of doing this int conversion. We'll see. So basically what I need to do is I need to scale up from the unsigned integer that goes 0 to total size to 0 to max uint value, which is like 2 billion and something. So I don't know if I should just output the row of values or what. I don't know, we'll try this. I should probably actually do this here first. Should just write a little test. Some little test JavaScript. So we'll take our length, which will be 100. Test value, which will be 60. So now what it should be 2 to the power of 31 minus 1 times TV divided by 100 floor. Okay, that's completely wrong. Wait, why is 2 to the power of 31 29? Oh, this is doing XOR. I'm an idiot. I'm also doing 2 instead of 1. Man, I actually hate JavaScript sometimes. Wait, is there a way to do JavaScript unsigned integer bitwise? Hate people which have no brain but pretend to do like this guy. He's so dumb. Then don't waste time on him. After the bitwise operation is performed, result. Example uses 4 bits signed. Converted to signed 32-bit. Oh no, okay. This is my main limit behind doing actual integer math in JavaScript. 30? Wait, so negative 1 to the power of 31. This is weird, dude. Negative 1 to the power of 32 is negative 1. Oh, I hate JavaScript sometimes. So there's no unsigned integer math, or what? Like, I guess I gotta do it like this. Two guys accepted to talk to me about specifics of their work. Wait, so this is the max integer value, right? It's 2 to the power 32 minus 1. So it's just like this, minus 1. Okay. Use the word hobbyist. Ah. So math.floor total value max I equals power 31 times 2 minus 1. JavaScript's weird. So then here I want to do math floor value set divided by length times max I. So this is the part that I want to do without floating points. Some people read a word and they think it's reality. Yeah, lots of people do. The words are part of reality. So then times the max I divided by max I should give the value again. Okay. So that does work good using floats. But how do I do this without doing floor and with floats? What if instead I did max I divided by t length? You know what, I can just do it here. So this is going to be so 1 to the power 32 31 times negative 2 minus 1. Have you heard of Oxide Giant Engine? Yeah, I have. Why? It's an engine in C++, right? Let me look this up. Free C++ engine for 2D games. Nice. So then I can just multiply this by max I. Gives me the value. Okay. That's good stuff. So I'm just going to do that. So that is 1 to the power 31 times negative 2 minus 1 divided by total size. And then here I can just do floor times scale. Alright, now let's test that right here. Int array Oh yeah, it's working. Looks very lightweight. Are you thinking of using it? I'm going to add more information here, or different information. If type equals 7, binary data stored as 32-bit, integers where index equals x plus y times size. Stores values as 32-bit unsigned integers. Someone was willing to hire me to work on it. He said we want to compile some samples and check it out first. Nice. Yeah, I'll be honest though, I wouldn't just do random work for people on Discord. You'll probably get scammed. Like it uses SDL and OpenGL. That's exactly what I use too, so. Alright, I think these values are good. Nine bytes. Oh man. Alright, you make sure of that. The main issue is you normally hand over your work before they pay you. I'm just going to do this exact same scaling here. So instead of saving it as text, I'm just going to do I equals math.floor. No, I won't hand it in first, but then they won't pay you. Alright, so now I need to copy this blob data, or this way of encoding blob data. Wait, that didn't copy it. There we go. It's fine, man. It could be figured out. I had already worked online for some months at some point. Ah, true. So have you ever had someone just not pay you? Or have you ever had someone reverse your PayPal invoices? Nah. You're pretty lucky then. I think I can just pass in this data as a blob and it'll convert it. Tref equals window.url create object URL. Alright. See if this works. Something failed. What I think is overpay, I'm not. That into money matters. Ah. But you're trying to work for money, aren't you? Oh. No semicolon. Here we go. So instead of saving as .text, it should save as .binary. Let me make sure it's this right size. 70 bytes. It's 8 times 4. Should be 32. That's not good. Made a website, connected the website to his Twitch. People were supposed to have badges. Nice, dude. Huh, I don't know why this. Maybe I have to do .buffer. Not all people are terrible, you know. No, I just think people on Discord are more likely to be. JavaScript in 32 array blob. Okay, maybe I need to convert it. About to get 500, it was split into 250 and 250. I didn't take the second one. Ah. Nice. So, to convert this, I think I can just do uint 8 array bytes res.buffer. That should work. I think I can just do it here as well. $85 bytes, what? Now that's even more wrong. What is going on here? JavaScript blob too large. Blob coming out much larger than input. First issue encodes it as base 64. Oh god. So the blob encodes it as base 64. What if I don't include a type? No, it's still not wrong. So this should be each uint32 is 4 bytes. There's 8 of them. Unless there's something I'm missing, let me output the total size. Total size of 8, yeah, so it should be outputting 32. Blob, binary, not base 64. Too large. Type is MIME type. JavaScript binary blob. Plain text containing hex data in ASCII. Convert it to a binary array, then create a blob of that. Application octet stream. Okay, let's try that. "32 bytes. There we go. Wait, so was the solution here wrapping in an array or doing type octet stream? I think it was type octet stream. Oh no, what the heck? So if you wrap this input into the blob in an array, it makes the output binary. That's weird. Well, whatever. Alright, well I think that's that for the blue noise generator. So now you could do generate double array of blue noise, and you can copy this array into Shader Toy and have a blue noise texture in like blue noise equals size 8, frag color equals vec4 blue noise fragcore.x or floor fragcore.x. Actually, int size plus core.y times size divided by size and size. Boom! Blue noise texture. Small blue noise texture you can easily post in your shaders. Boom. Alright, so now that this is done, the one more thing I want looks tiled. It is tiled. It's only an 8x8 image. You can see the 8x8 is this really small thing right here. That's because I was copying it as raw text data. It's not like an image where it can copy like 1,000 kilobytes. This is a lot less tiled. It is perfectly tiling though, in that it tries not to repeat high frequency patterns. I've noticed the 16x16 tiles really well. Also, changing the density and the sigma probably make it tile better. I think actually the density should probably be higher for these smaller ones. That's why I added this stuff as options. Oh, actually, I just remembered. This fails. Wait, this is supposed to fail if the density is above 1. I guess it doesn't. Whatever. So the next thing... I need to watch this audio. It seems like it's getting loud, but Guess not. So the next thing is blue noise sample generator. So blue noise samples are like the Poisson disk right here, except the samples have a one-dimensional list. It's not like a 2D image here. It just has the positions of the points, but it's in a list where each point sample is as far away as possible from the next. So if you're doing ray tracing and you're trying to sample a whole bunch of evenly spaced points like this, it's really good. Also, can I just show off the path tracer I've been working on? It's got caustics. And you can move the camera. I need to make it so you can actually move the camera, but right now you can just look around. I'm having a hard time doing proper caustics though. Like, I actually can't stop thinking about this. What I was trying to do internal and external refraction was flipping the refraction index when it's inside or outside the sphere. So like when it's inside the sphere, it swaps it. But it actually doesn't seem like it's doing anything. Seems like it's basically exactly the same. Actually, no, there's a little bit of change in the caustic. But it's really difficult because you're supposed to have different refraction indexes for the inside and the outside of the surface. See, now I think that is correct. That's between the two. See, it's so weird though, because it looks basically the same with or without the internal refraction index. But then again, my whole code here of checking if it's inside the sphere could be wrong for whatever reason. I don't know if I'm just passing in the wrong point or what. Anyways, we'll work on this later. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while. Next thing we're going to do is the Mitchell's Best Candidate as another JavaScript app. I'm going to be right back though. I'm just going to go and get some something else to drink. Actually, thinking about it, I think there's one more thing. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to make marbles in browser, make sure it's ready to go, and make sure the blue noise generator is ready to go. I might not do the blue noise sample points right now because it's not actually something that I need, but I do need the blue noise for something right now. So okay, what do I need to do to fix this up? I think I need to run it through Closure Compiler. To wrap it in that. Advanced, let's get going because that might take a while. Compilation did not complete successfully. Invalid parsed character. Oh no. So I need to change index to use main min. So this makes the code load a lot quicker because the JavaScript is like a fourth of the characters. Gives the compiler less to work with. But when it's doing the closure compiler, it takes a while. So we'll actually work on setting up the blue noise generator as well. I don't actually know if I'm going to minify it. Should maybe delete these failed versions. Because this uses web workers, which I've actually never minified before. Warning. Error. Compilation failed. What happened? Let's see if it compiles without this. Go to a fresh closure compiler, advanced, closure compiler, error, no result. I wonder what this is. It might be me wrapping it in closure, but I don't think so. Compilation was a success. Maybe it was me wrapping in closure. So I guess I'll do that to the minified. So here I do function. That. Alright, now we gotta test and make sure this works. I'm minifying it. Alright, that's a weird bug. for some reason, it's initializing it like this, which is weird. I think that's the index.html though, right here. Why is this indented? It must not be reloading this or something, because cool music to build Hello World to. Are you building Hello World right now? JavaScript text area indenting. Wait, is this something that is only happening with the minified version? Oh. The minified version isn't loading in the text for whatever reason. Maybe I gotta delete local storage. Window local storage dot clear. Local storage. There's 0 storage. All right. Change it to min. That player 1. All right. Storage, nothing. I think what happened was it changed around the name of the storage variables. Yeah, player 1, XYZ. So it changed around some of these names, but not background. So let me make sure it saves everything. Yep, okay. So it's all working from minified. And it reduced the size by like half, so that's cool. Alright, so now Marble Race ready to post on the site. Now we do the blue noise generator. So I'm going to make a folder called min. I'm going to create copies of these that are minified instead of creating a separate file like before. And I don't use any window events here. That should make it way better. So first we'll minify this. This Dragon's Dogma soundtrack is awesome, though. So now I wrap this enclosure. So that minified it a whole lot. Oops. See if it still works. Yep, still works fine. Alright. How much did it minify though? Still named outdiv for some reason. It doesn't rename the weirdest things. I guess it has a bunch of keywords like background and stuff that it doesn't rename because it's part of the part of HTML. Kind of complicated. Oh, so what happened here? So it's like it's not enforcing the density or something. I don't know why it's not working. That was weird. Done. Percent done. That's interesting. The one-dimensional doesn't work after a certain size. Does it work if I increase the density? Ah, yeah, so it works if I increase the density. That's weird. So now with dimension... What? Why wasn't it working before? This is confusing. Maybe it's just the seed? Yeah, so if the density is too small, it doesn't generate. Where that point of being too small is pretty difficult to see. I'm wondering, did I forget to set the minimum density? Density equals max 2.0 divided by total size. No, I set it. Image count, total size times equals size. So for one dimension, that'll be 64. The point density will be 2 divided by 64. which then in workend.js will end up as total size times that, and then floored. So there should be at least 2 points. Maybe there needs to be like 4. Let me try this. So I set this back down to 2. Does it fail? No, it still generates. So 8 points works. And as it gets bigger, it fails. The density isn't high enough. Alright. This engine's actually pretty cool. Is there anything like special it does? It's just a framework with a separate editor. Ah. Oh man, I can't increase this much more than... Two divided by total size. Yeah, maybe I'll do 10% as the minimum. Does that always work? See what the minimum I can set it to with it working. ECS and C++. Nice. Does it support 3D though? Try 1% of the points. Wait. Times 0.1. How is this working? It's 2D only, but still not true. How is this even working? Times 8. This shouldn't... What the heck? This shouldn't even be working right now. Screw it. I'm just not going to set a max or any limit on the density. Oops, wrong part of the code. It's supposed to be right here. Alright, now we can look at... Oops, I copied instead of pasted. And now we gotta make sure this works. Alright, it all works. So now we'll look at minifying the workers. So I've never put a web worker in Clojure Compiler before. So this might mess stuff up. We'll see. I'm interested to see if it works. This is taking a long time to compile. I think it's because it actually runs through the loops and simulates the code running. Okay. I'm really curious, does this still have the same? Yeah, it still has self.onMessage. Okay, let's see if this works. Come on, Clojure Compiler. Yeah, it works. So now we're going to do the same right here. Alright, now I'm going to do a full refresh. Reference error bin is not defined. Ooh! Oh! This messes with the eval code. Oh! Ah, I didn't think about this. So because I use eval to generate the n-dimensional function, it relies on the values being certain things. Google Clojure Compiler keeps specific variable names. I think if I do window main, we'll see. I'll try doing something else. So if binary is the issue right here, bin equals that, but we'll also do bin equals bin. Now I don't think Clojure Compiler will optimize that out. We'll see. Monka. Let's look for that right here. Window.bin equals v. Alright, so now the test is going to see if it still can't find bin. If it finds bin here and moves on to another variable, then we can use this. Window is not defined. Oof. Oof, window is not defined. Maybe it's self. Web worker global scope instead of window. I think it's self. It says use self code that will work on both. Main thread window self points to the window object, self points to the separate worker global scope. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. So I believe self.bin equals bin. Self point equals point. Self energy equals energy. You know what? Most people probably won't even be able to read this code anyways. Add energy. With energy. Please remove energy. Then we need to set these to self size equals size, self sigma equals sigma, self seed. I don't need that one. Don't need that either. Okay. Actually, no, as long as those are hard coded, we don't need that either. Alright. Man, a lot of people must be using Google Closure Compiler because it is taking a while to compile now. I know though that people, since this is a REST API, there's actually a bunch of JavaScript IDEs and things that build Closure Compiler in and just do it automatically for people, which I think makes it a lot slower for Google. Let's see if this works. Generate index to point. Oh, I forgot one. Self index to point. Index to point. Alright, so through an error there, or it failed, but I think that was just because of the way that ran. So let me see, that ran in 1.77 seconds. Does this older version run faster? No, it actually runs slower. Awesome. Alright. This is ready to release now. Blue noise image generator. Hell yeah. There's one more thing I just remembered I gotta do. I gotta fill in this download button with source.zip. Or view generator source. Alright. Hell yeah. So that right there is the finished blue noise generator. Hell yeah. So that's going to be released on my site later today. I'll be posting it in Discord and talking about that a whole bunch. Oh, it's going to be useful. I'm going to do the blue noise sample generator either later today or tomorrow. That's going to be really simple because I already have the Poisson disk generation, which is basically the same thing. I just need to order it now in one dimension. And I can just use Mitchell's best candidate for that, which is easy peasy. Oh man, I'm happy to have this done. This is having a blue noise generator for 3D, 4D is just super useful. It's going to be good. I'm also going to push out marbles on my site. I'm honestly not too happy with how the marbles game turned out. I learned kind of what I already knew too, and that real-time ray tracing, not fast enough yet, I think. But yeah, it was still a good test. Anyways, join the Discord because I'll be talking about a lot of this stuff. I'll be posting links to that. Thanks to anyone who watched the stream today. It was pretty productive. We polished a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm either going to stream this afternoon or I might stream some games tonight. Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to be doing C engine development tomorrow. So that should be really fun. We're going to start with just compiling my engine because I think I left some errors with it and it's not even going to compile. But yeah, that'll all be for tomorrow. Probably be a long stream tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's not the thanks for watching stream. Great job, OBS. Great job, OBS. That's the right window. I don't know why, but OBS sometimes just grabs the completely wrong window. I don't know. Anyways, I'll be in Discord. See everyone later. Have a good day.